welcome to week 18 of the Happy Stitch project. This week we're learning long and short stitch. So to get started, I've got this lovely pink thread, 3 strands, tied a knot in the end, trim the excess like usual. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch a little bit along here. I haven't got room in my sampler to do a shape, which is what we'd normally do with long and short stitch. It's a good filling stitch, a bit like satin stitch, but slightly different. So what I'm going to do is here I'm going to show you the principles of it, and then if you watch the project video for this week, which is some lovely lettering, you'll see me use it to actually fill in the shapes there. So essentially it's a lot of straight stitches, and what you need to do is alternate the lengths. So I've done my first stitch, which will be my long stitch, and then I'm just putting another stitch in right next to it there that's half the length, and that's the short one. Hence the name, it does what it says on the tin. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just putting another long stitch in. Now if you want to, you can draw a line on. I'm just freestyling it here as usual, but if you want to have a bit more of a guide just to get practicing, that's absolutely fine. So long and short stitch is a really excellent stitch for filling in. Satin stitch is my go-to, and normally when I stitch that, I leave gaps between the stitches and then go back and fill in. You shouldn't do that here, you need to do them next to each other really. You'll see on this week's project video that once I'm kind of in the middle of the lettering, which is quite sort of square and chunky, there's a different technique for kind of more square shapes, but really you should kind of do them next to each other. So just do it like this to get started. So let's put another one in there, and just make sure, as I said, that each of your short stitches is half the length of your long ones, and then you'll get a really nice effect with that. So I'm keeping it kind of square and in a line here, but you often use it for filling in. And you can see you get that sort of effect. It looks like a bit like a comb, doesn't it? You've got those longer stitches, and then you get these little gaps that are sort of created here where you've got the shorter ones. And if I was stitching above here, the long ones would go into those gaps and then the short ones would be on top of the long ones, if that makes sense. Have a look at the project video for this week and you'll see what I mean.